Don't go anywhere. We have a very riveting review. Yeah, that's pretty cheesy, but we'll be back in just 1 second. I'm Tim Johnson. You're watching Shop Tool Reviews. This is the brand new Milwaukee 2660, and it's their M18 FUEL Rivet gun. Now this shoots rivets from 3/16 all the way up to 9/32. You can get it as a bare tool, which would be the 2660-20, or the 2660-22, which comes with a charger and 2 batteries. With just one of these CP 2.0 batteries, you should be able to shoot up to 500 1/4-inch aluminum rivets. Now if you're just shooting 3/16 rivets and they're aluminum, up to 900. So you're going to get a lot of run time just out of one of these slim pack batteries. With 2 of them, you should be able to get a day's use, no problem whatsoever. Without wasting any more of your time, let's dive in, take a closer look at each one of the features on the 2660, then we'll actually use it, then we'll come back and wrap it up. This is the all-new Milwaukee M18 FUEL Rivet gun. Now model number is the 2660-20 if you want just the bare tool, or -22 if you want the kit, with 2 batteries. Now this shoots 3/16 rivets as well as 1/4-inch and 9/32, 7/32 as well. So you get your 3/16, 7/32, 1/4-inch, and 9/32 rivets. You see that you get all the heads with this as well that are right here conveniently on the handle. So what I have here in the tip already is the 1/4-inch, and then we see the 7/30 or the 3/16, the 7/32, and the 9/32, which is the largest. One thing interesting about this is you would think that maybe this is just threaded into plastic. That's not the case. Get nice brass inserts in there, threaded inserts. So these tips, you can actually screw them in there and keep them tight. They're not just going to fall out or waller out over time if they were just in plastic. Now, right here in the tool is the wrench as well, so you can easily remove these tips, change them out as you need to change rivets and so forth. Pulling force on this is up to 4,500 pounds, and it happens really quick. So you pull the trigger, it pulls it really, really quick. We'll show that in just 1 second. You'll see the container back here on the back. This is going to catch all the shrapnel from the rivets, or it's actually going to, pull the inserts out of the rivets, and this is going to contain all these or capture all of those. Again, we'll show that in a moment as well. Just a quick 1/8 of a turn or whatever that is, maybe even a little less. Take that off, dump your rivet guts out, and click it back in, and you're ready to go once more. So those are going to automatically shoot from here where it's actually pulling them and dump them right here into this back container. You also get a hanging hook there, so conveniently, whether you want to store the tool or hang it from a rafter or whatever you're working on, you can do so. You also get an LED light here that's going to shine right there on the fastener area where you're fastening that rivet, and this long snout enables you to get in those tighter spaces when you need to. You can see here on the 1-key light down here on the tool, this is a 1-key enabled tool, so you can keep track and manage this tool through your 1-key app on your smartphone, smart device, computer, what have you. Now, in addition to being able to change out the tips to do different types of rivets, you can also change out the jaws as they wear out over time. Very easy to do this. Easy spanner wrench or adjustable wrench. And I can take this tip off here. And then right here, you're going to see the jaws. So over time, these will wear out, especially if you're pulling more than, say, aluminum rivets. You're starting to pull steel rivets, things like that. These jaws will wear out. That's just a consumable item. And again, with your same spanner wrench. And by the way, you'll see some oil in here, and that's to keep things lubricated. So you want to make sure that that stays oiled as well over time. Keep that lubricated. And then basically just unscrew this one, kind of like the other one. And then right in here are the 3 jaws. Those can just fall out. You feed the new ones in, screw it back on, and you're ready to go. So very easy to service this as well with minimal tools. Just an easy, crescent wrench, adjustable wrench, whatever you want to call it. And again, make sure this stays nice and lubed up. You've got an O-ring here keeping things sealed up as well. So make sure that stays lubricated. Also, let me point out, when you're changing out these tips for your different rivets, let me show you something. So if I just go to take this out and I start wanting to unthread that, I can definitely tell there's pressure against it. And not only that, when I get to the last couple of threads, it's going to want to shoot that tip out of there. Well, if I will pull the trigger and keep it pulled, now I can pull that out and it's not pushing any pressure against it. Same thing when I put my new one in, I can easily thread that in, because if I don't do that, now that tip has pushed all the way up into here, and I would have to push against that spring to be able to get that tip in there. So keep that trigger pulled, get that snug, and we're good. Also, another note, these O-rings here on these tips, as you can see, they're different colors depending on which tip, so that easily allows you to differentiate between the different sizes. However, it's more than just that. You'll see when I put this rivet in here, this O-ring kind of pushes out. So that O-ring is like a pin and O-ring type of system, so kind of like on a socket. But when I push that, that's keeping that rivet into place, so even if I hold it down like that, it's not going to let that rivet fall out. So make sure you keep that O-ring on there, and if you ever lose it, put another O-ring on it. So let's go use this guy, see what we think about it. Okay, what we have here, we have the new M18 FUEL 2660 rivet gun. We also have the little bit older M12 FUEL rivet gun as well. Now this is the 2550, this is the 2660 M12 M18. This is going to do lighter stuff, this is going to do heavier stuff, so it kind of falls into place, if you will, makes a little sense. The M12 is a great rivet gun and does some smaller stuff really well, whether it's trim or decorative stuff, or even getting into light fabrication. And before we use the M18, just wanted to show you the M12 so I can show you some similarities as well as some differences in the tool. I've got a small piece of aluminum here, or a couple of pieces of aluminum. I'll just chalk it up here in my vise, and we'll use this a couple of times here. Okay, so whether we're talking about, little 1/8 inch, small 1/4 inch rivets, 1/4 inch deep by 1/8 inch diameter, or you're talking longer 1/2 inch, whatever, this little M12 does a really good job. So you can insert the rivet, put it into your hole, pull it, slide your next one in, so it does a great job, but it is for lighter duty work. It catches the rivets on the back side here. But you did see that sometimes when I pull these rivets, the shank kind of gets stuck in there and you got to shove it in there. You won't find that on this larger 2660. So let me pull this out. We'll pull the 2660 out. And let me just show you here on a rivet. Number one, this is a steel rivet. This is not an aluminum rivet. So a lot harder to pull. And you'll see here, when I shove it here, and I'm going to pull the trigger. Very quickly pulls that, and it dumps that into the tank here on the back. Now you'll see here on the 2660 on the M18, we've got a steel rivet, and there's no way you would be able to get the M12 to pull that steel rivet, especially a 1/4 inch steel rivet. Just got a piece of angle here. I'm going to shoot this in so that you can actually see this take place. You see how quickly it pulls that steel rivet, and now that's locked into place, and it actually pulled the shank. And now that's here in the container. All right, we've got a couple of pieces of angle iron already drilled, and we've got some 1/4 inch rivets stuck in there. These are all steel rivets. We're going to take our 2660. We're going to go here and see how quick we can do all these. There we have it. Now we just dumped them all out. Caught all of our shanks. And as you can see here on the back side, terminated all the blind rivets. And again, these steel rivets are really going to hold. And it doesn't matter even if it's stainless steel rivets. So you see this long stainless steel rivet here. And by the way, if you don't believe that it's stainless steel, you can tell it's not aluminum and doesn't stick to a magnet. So anyway, long stainless steel, no problem whatsoever. And then obviously your aluminum rivets. Going to be very easy to do those. And another steel rivet. No doubt about it, the M18 Fuel Rivet gun works really, really fast. In fact, it worked a lot faster than we thought it was going to be able to do. Now, we've used the M12 rivet gun for quite a while now. It's the 2550, and we've been impressed with it. However, it's definitely going to be on that, lower end range of industrial use, if you will. Sheet metal work, things like that, this is going to work great for that. But when you get into those larger rivets, it quite frankly can't do it, and it's not near as fast. And again, it's doing what it's supposed to do in that lower end, if you will, in that lower power, but it just can't handle that more industrial use. Now, stepping up to the 2660, the M18 Fuel, it really does pull those rivets fast, even the steel rivets. Now, I had my doubts in this because, quite frankly, I grew up in a business where we had to use one of these rivet guns right here a lot. And squeezing those big steel rivets with your arms on door panels, on window regulators, things like that, especially working in tight areas, it's kind of a pain. You would have to, get this in the right area where you could open it all the way up, do a couple of pulls on it, pull those, snap them off, and move on to the next one, and it's just a real pain. Now, you may have also seen the pneumatic rivet guns. They've been around a long time, but again, you're needing a compressor, you're needing an airline, and they can be quite cumbersome as well. This really fits a purpose when you need to shoot those larger rivets, especially repetitively. When you're needing to shoot a lot of rivets, this is going to get the job done. It's going to do it really, really quickly. It also gathers all your remnants of your steel shanks, where on a manual tool like that, you're having to discard them or what have you. After you shoot 10, 20, 30, 50 of these, go dump them off in your trash can, and then you're ready to go and to shoot some more. Now, you can also get with this is a covering here where you can put the rubber cover on it and keep it protected and so forth. Now, as far as pricing on this, number one, it's going to release in March of 2021. So right now it's February. Next month, they're supposed to release this. Price on this is $7.99 for the bare tool. So yes, it is an expensive tool. $9.99 for the kit. So you're looking to lay out a grand, $1,000 to get the two batteries, the charger, and the tool. Now, you may look at that and say, that is crazy, and you're probably right if it's just kind of a tool that you're going to use every now and then. But again, if you're in the business, whether you're building trailers and you're running, you're wiring down channels, things like that, and you're covering the channels with rivets and wire looms, things like that, this can come in really handy, and you can get a lot faster in your process. Even running E-track down trailers, utility trailers, things like that, going to come in really handy as well. So I'm sure if you're watching this and you get the application of this, all of a sudden that price now becomes not so high of a price and becomes more of a return on investment, if you will. So yes, it's a high price if it's just going to be a tool that sits in your toolbox. But if it's something you use all the time, it's answering the need that's been out there in the industry for a long time. Now you have a true cordless tool, no air hose needed, no compressor needed, and it's going to pull the rivets that you need to do. You saw we pulled aluminum, we pulled steel, we pulled stainless steel, all 1/4 inch, and it did it very, very quickly. We were impressed with it. Performance of it, no question whatsoever. You're going to get the 5-year warranty from Milwaukee. You can get the replaceable jaws as well. We showed you how you can easily take the snout off of this, replace those jaws. As far as what this tool weighs, 5 pounds, 12 ounces with the battery on it. So you're looking 5 3/4 pounds, not too heavy. Again, it's not a really light tool, but it's an industrial tool. It's made to do some heavy duty work. Check it out for yourself. Coming out March 2021. So look for it on the shelves. You can find it online as well. Again, $7.99 for the bare tool, $9.99 for the kit. Model number 2660. Keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you don't mind, would you hit that like and subscribe button if you like this video? If you hated our video, by all means, give us that thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day and keep smiling.